In English fiction, there are three well-known stories that helped to popularize the myth of buried pirate treasure. Wilfred Webbard by Washington Irving, The Gold Bug by Edgar Allan Poe, and Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. In these tales, the characters embark on adventure in hopes of finding a hidden fortune. There too is treasure in our school. Gifted and talented, or GT students, can be compared to hidden treasures. Their talents often have to be discovered, and like every student, in the sense they need differentiated instruction. We must identify GT students' aptitudes and provide programs and instruction that support their gifts. Welcome to my presentation, Serving the Gifted. The goal of this presentation is to help you identify gifted students, create learning experiences that challenge and motivate GT students, and to support the social and emotional needs of gifted individuals. Some students may not be in a gifted program or in a primary talent pool, but that does not mean that they lack gifts. It just means that their potential has not yet been realized, like a light bulb waiting to be turned on. Only with increased achievement in all students will more children's potential be recognized, developed, and identified for specialized instruction. We will focus on three important areas of gifted education: motivation, creativity, and intensities. In the United States, relatively little funding, researching, and teacher preparation focus on high-achieving students. Nonetheless, there are strategies and resources that will support GT students and advance their aptitudes. Teachers like you are the X factor in personalized learning. Teaching gifted learners begins with the premise that each child should come to school to stretch and grow daily. It resides in the notion that educators understand key concepts, principles, and skills of subject domains, and present those in ways that cause highly able students to wonder and grasp, to extend their reach. GT students need teachers who are more of a guide on the side and less of a sage on the stage. You are the X factor in helping students journey down their educational paths. Knowing the common misconceptions behind gifted and talented education will help you to focus on what it truly means to be gifted and the research-based strategies that support GT students. One common myth is that all children are gifted. Yes, all children have strengths, but not all are gifted in the educational sense of the word. Giftedness is when a student performs at the upper end of the distribution in a talent domain, even relative to other high-functioning students in that domain. People mistakenly believe that a student cannot be gifted if he or she is receiving poor grades. The reality is that gifted students may become bored or frustrated in an unchallenging classroom situation, causing them to lose interest, learn bad study habits, or distrust the school environment. Even gifted students need motivation. Variables related to intrinsic motivation include a strong intellectual or creative interest pursued outside of school, classes that allow for advanced and independent study, and an ability to relate school success to personal goals. All gifted students are happy, popular, and well-adjusted in school, right? False. Some gifted students differ in terms of their emotional intensity, sensitivity to feelings, perfectionism, and deep concerns about societal problems. Others do not share interests with their classmates and feel isolated. Some GT students are labeled unfavorably as a nerd. Because of these difficulties, the school experience is one to be endured rather than celebrated. Another myth is that gifted students don't need help. They'll do fine on their own. The truth is, gifted students need guidance from well-trained teachers who challenge and support them in order to fully develop their abilities. The role of the teacher is crucial for spotting and nurturing talents in school. Talent can be expressed more than in terms of intelligence. Talent is expressed by way of creative performance and creative production. There are students who act as creative producers by writing stories, designing STEM experiments, and using computer code to develop online games. GT students' outstanding performance can be credited to domain-specific abilities, commitment, and opportunity. The realities of gifted education can be emphasized in an effort to encourage schools to provide equality of opportunity rather than the same experiences for all. You might be wondering, who are the gifted students in my class? To help you understand the observable signs of gifted students, we are going to look at the three-ring conception of giftedness. The three-ring conception of giftedness includes above-average ability, creativity, and task commitment. Above average abilities can be revealed through the way students process information, integrate experiences, and employ abstract thinking. Students may be truly creative if they exhibit originality of thought, an openness to experience, sensitivity to stimulations, and a willingness to take risks. Under task commitment, gifted students show perseverance, endurance, hard work, and a special fascination with a special subject. Only if characteristics from all three rings work together can high achievement or gifted behavior be witnessed. Typical ways that we might reward students include reward systems, grades, and evaluations. Yet these external factors are short-lived. Motivation for gifted students means they find activities and content challenging, they are willing to persist at a task, and they enjoy what they are doing. Joy of learning is one of the best ways to know that a student has motivation. We can motivate gifted students by giving them a sense of ownership in their learning. Educators can support students' autonomy by adopting their perspectives, welcoming their thoughts, and giving them independent self-regulation. Autonomy is one of the most volitional and high-quality forms of motivation. What drives GT students are not immediate or delayed consequences, but the satisfaction of the activity itself. Unfortunately, an unchallenging curriculum can not only damage gifted students' self-worth, but also encourage them to seek the easy path and work well below their true potential. According to Robinson, Ziegler, and Gallagher, gifted education teachers should emphasize inquiry, enrich the curriculum, and integrate instruction across disciplines to focus on real-life problems. With inquiry-based teaching, students build new knowledge by questioning, investigating, and thinking critically. Inquiry-based learning is a type of instruction that initiates by posing questions, problems, or scenarios, rather than simply presenting facts or prescribing a specific path to knowledge. During inquiry-based learning, students will have the opportunity to apply multiple disciplines to one central goal, showing them how content areas connect. Because of successful learners' extensive curiosity about the world around them, inquiry-based teaching and learning, and specifically the deliberate use of question asking, are highly recommended as effective inductive approaches aimed to nurture and promote high-level thinking, helping students inquire and learn about the world around them in deep and meaningful ways. Collaboration is a hallmark of inquiry-based learning. The Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development cites research that shows how GT students who work together in groups do better academically. Inquiry-based learning is an ideal strategy for GT students because intellectually gifted youth have the advantage of greater cognitive maturity and different and high-level thinking, including advanced problem-solving capacity. Inquiry-based learning gives teachers the opportunity to employ a variety of instructional strategies and modifications so that all students can reach personalized goals. One of the key ingredients to addressing the needs of GT students with unique abilities is differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction is a way of recognizing and teaching according to different students' talents and learning styles. Roberts and Inman point out that the one-size-fits-all does not work in the classroom. Teachers must design curriculums varied in complexity, use a variety of grouping strategies, encourage peer tutoring, modify product expectations, allow student choice, and tailor direct instruction according to each student's ability and interest. Often, the traits of creative individuals go against what is considered acceptable behavior in the school setting: boredom, hyperactivity, cynicism. Teacher attitudes, beliefs, and classroom practices are deemed to be of crucial influence in the development of students' creativity. Teachers must learn how to identify the creatively gifted so that they can personalize instruction accordingly. Assessment and observation data can be used to drive the design of instruction that is appropriate and challenging. Teachers play important roles in enhancing components of students' creativity. We support GT students' creativity through instruction that encourages creating, problem-solving, and divergent thinking. When problem-solving strategies are directly taught, student problem-solving performance increases. Students need the freedom of movement and the effective drive to solve problems with real-world implications. GT students should learn how to analyze initial problem information, how to represent the problem through diagrams and mental models, and how to perform various problem-solving strategies. Independent learning and collaboration will help gifted students be creative through problem-solving. The creatively gifted need opportunities to pursue topics that are meaningful to them. Genius Hour is a type of passion-based learning where students are given time and opportunity to develop their own questions about whatever it is they wish to explore. Topics could be something students already have aptitude for, or it could be something students want to begin for the first time. Genius Hour embodies risk-taking and learning through discovery. During Genius Hour, students follow the inquiry process. They question, investigate, use evidence to describe and explain, connect evidence to knowledge, and then share their findings. A meaningful project gives students opportunities to build such 21st century skills as collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and the use of technology, which will serve them well in the workplace and in life. In a study by Gentry, Peters, and Mann, students appreciated the ability to choose courses and determine the order or type of assignments, to self-pace the curriculum, and to experiment with a profession, giving them autonomy. For some GT students, the school experience is one to be endured rather than celebrated. Gifted students are at risk for personal and interpersonal problems. Even at a very young age, some GT students contend with perfectionism, anxiety, stereotype threats, and isolation. Many teachers know that gifted students often struggle with perfectionism and peer pressure for conformity, but educators need to understand that these students also deal with overexcitabilities. Overexcitabilities are when students exhibit intense behaviors related to intelligence, imagination, senses, emotions, and physical behaviors. Most teachers don't understand the science behind overexcitabilities. They write off students' behavior as strange or annoying. However, intensities need to be understood because they affect the ways in which gifted individuals perceive the world. Students enter our classrooms with diverse backgrounds, abilities, perspectives, and intensities that we as teachers may have never experienced. Educators must put their biases aside and apply the strategies discussed in this presentation to build positive social development for our students. For instance, hypersensory issues can have a major impact on the life of the individual experiencing sensory disturbance. Teachers can help students cope with these issues by providing noise-canceling headphones, holding their hands, and by providing them with a sensory kit full of things that help them stay calm, like putty, fidget spinners, and stress balls. Other strategies for supporting students with overexcitabilities include direct counseling, positive feedback, effective curriculum units, mentoring, and inquiry-based learning. GT students need opportunities to speak with professionals that have careers associated with the students' varying passion areas. Gifted students may not have access to a variety and number of different occupations or adequate role models. Speakers will give students information about how to deal with social and emotional concerns. Students will have opportunities to ask guest speakers questions about their personal and professional lives. These guest speakers will give hope to gifted students who are discouraged, lack motivation, or who are subject to overexcitabilities. Hosting speakers can be an effective tool for helping GT students learn how to deal with stressors and other issues. A popular African proverb says, "It takes a village to raise a child." This saying holds especially true for gifted students. According to Lohman, the attainment of academic excellence comes only after much practice and training and requires commitment from student, parent, and school. Research has found that colleges are meeting the minimum state standards for training undergraduates on gifted education. Schools must close the gap by having its own faculty members and professionals outside the building train teachers on gifted education. Parents play a vital role in the development of their gifted children. We can help parents become champion advocates who have knowledge of best practices in gifted education and practical knowledge of advocacy strategies for gifted students. The integration of the gifted students' families to the process of education is really effective for the healthy maintenance of their socio-sentimental improvements and their being successful at an expected level during the education process. Remember, you, the teacher, are the X factor in supporting GT students' unique learning and emotional needs. Your efforts will reveal the treasure inside the hearts and minds of our gifted population. You have what it takes to design and implement personalized curriculums, to deliver effective instruction, and to support special initiatives that uncover students' abilities and their talents.